Hey juniors, welcome back to what I promise is going to be the last video for Unit 9. I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot. Last video. Step 7, the Sudetenland. So this is a complex one, right? This is probably the most important of the entirety of these steps. So the Sudetenland was that Austrian land that was taken away from Austria and given to Czechoslovakia after World War I. There's a lot of German-speaking people in it. Hitler makes a point to say that he is willing to kind of go to war over the Sudetenland. All right. Neville Chamberlain hears about this, and so he's going to fly to Germany to try and meet with Adolf Hitler and discuss kind of terms of not letting that happen. They can't really reach an agreement on the Sudetenland. So the kind of the tension is building. Mussolini is going to call. Mussolini did this. He's called the architect of peace here. He is going to call the Munich Conference. All right, this is a very, very, very important term. All right, the Munich Conference is going to be. Let me write this down. Boom. It's going to be Munich Conference. Italy. Boy, I can't. Oh boy. Italy. Germany. Britain. And France. All right. They are going to get together and determine the fate of the Sudetenland. All right. Two big things here. Czechoslovakia was not invited to the meeting to decide the fate of its own territory. Big red flag. And neither was Stalin and the Soviet Union. And Czechoslovakia is Eastern Europe, and Stalin kind of regarded that as his sphere of influence. So Stalin's going to be very offended by what just took place in the Munich Conference. They eventually decide on the Munich Agreement right here. The Munich Agreement says Hitler can take the Sudetenland as long as he promises not to march into the rest of Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia had no German-speaking people in it except for that strip of land. All right, so everyone came to that agreement. It was signed, and that is the Munich Agreement. He takes over Czechoslovakia. All right, Neville Chamberlain and Hitler are going to sign the secret paper, all right, where both agree that war will not happen between the two countries. All right, hold on one second. All right, sorry about that. Mrs. G just came back from a little walk. So the secret paper, right? Neville Chamberlain and Adolf Hitler agree not to go to war with one another. Neville Chamberlain gets back to the UK and waves the paper around and saying it's going to be peace in our time. Like, he did it, and appeasement worked, and Hitler agreed it. Hitler gets home and he's like, this idiot thinks I just meant what I did, right? It was just a piece of paper. He really paid no value to what happened there. Then, step 8, Hitler invades Czechoslovakia. So a couple of months after the Munich Agreement, Hitler is going to break that promise, that the peace in our time, right? It's BS, right? He goes in and he invades Czechoslovakia in March of 1939. This angers Britain and France and the people in those countries, but they still take no action. The only person that this angers the most enough to take action is Stalin, and he's starting to question if he is on the right side of this relationship. He realizes the policy of appeasement, and Britain and France are giving in to Adolf Hitler. He wants to associate himself with the alpha, right, the power in Europe, and that is Adolf Hitler, and he's becoming more and more aware of that. So step 9 is going to be the Nazi-Soviet Pact, all right? Stalin and Hitler are going to enter into the Nazi-Soviet Pact in 1939, all right? This raises a bunch of red flags because, like, Hitler is anti-communist, and that's his third foreign policy goal, is to end communism, and he's been talking smack about communism since he rose to power in Germany, but this was a very beneficial relationship on both sides. Hitler realizes that with Russia as an ally, he will not get attacked from the other front, right? So if we do break out in war, he doesn't have to fight a two-front war. Stalin realizes that Hitler is not going to be loyal in this, but it's going to buy him time to get ready to go to war with Hitler. So both sides benefit from this. And they also agree right here that later on, they are going to invade Poland and split it in half. And that brings us to, very kind of beautiful cartoon, right? Look at this. Very, oh no, what have I done? Oh, spoilers. Very, very, very handsome bride. The handsomest of brides right here. Look at that face. That does nothing but make me think that love is real, right? Last step, September 1, 1939, Germans crossed the Polish border. Britain is going to give 48 hours to withdraw or they're going to declare war. Hitler's like, yeah, right, you guys aren't going to declare war. Except that's exactly what they do. It is not up to him anymore. It is up to the new British Prime Minister what happens, and his name is going to be Winston Churchill. All right, Winston Churchill, the British Bulldog, is gonna convince Britain to declare war. So on September 3rd, 1939, Britain declares war on Germany. By September 17th, 1939, the Soviets invade Poland from the other side. Poland lasts about 2 weeks in the invasion from both sides until it eventually falls into Nazi and Soviet occupied Poland. That's it. That's the 10 steps. This is some extra stuff. You guys can kind of catch this on your own. Was appeasement the right or wrong policy? Back at school, we would do like a little kind of to what extent, not essay, one of those visual essays. I doubt we do it here. We might have to pick up with that next year. But I hope you guys, I know this is a lot of information, but I hope you can kind of condense it and internalize it. And let me know if you have any questions. Be good.